Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. That's it. I hope everyone is doing well this afternoon. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Now, before I give you my reaction and my comment about Erika Kirk, her response yesterday on Fox News with one of the reporter, Harris. Oh, forgive me if I can't pronounce her name, her last name, but Harris. I just want to say breaking news. The judge who is going to appear on Tyler Robinson trial, he's making a decision if cameras should be allowed in the courtroom. Yeah, so as we speak, they're deciding, well, he's deciding if cameras should be in a courtroom. In my opinion, I think cameras should be in a courtroom because it's not like anyone don't know about the assassination of Charlie Kirk on 9/10. Everyone knows. It's on social media. It's on the news. It's everywhere. So no one. It's not like anyone didn't know what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's everywhere. So that's being proceeding right now. We also, well, I saw Tyler Robinson in the courtroom, and he was smiling, had a smirk on his face with his attorney, and now the judge is weighing should cameras be in the courtroom. I feel like cameras should be in the courtroom because we all need transparency, we all need truth, we all need answers. Cameras should be in the courtroom. Even Erika Kirk even said it when she did an interview earlier this afternoon, saying that cameras should be in the courtroom, and I absolutely agree with her. It should. Now, will it be? I don't know. I'm thinking, I have my suspicions that the judge is going to rule that out, saying that he don't want cameras in the courtroom. I don't know. Not know. I don't see why not, because like I said, everyone knows about the Charlie Kirk assassination. It's all public. You know what I mean? Everyone read the headlines, the conspiracies, and everything. So I don't see why not. I think there should be cameras, but at the end of the day, it's a judge decision, and we're all waiting on a judge decision today in Utah if he's going to allow cameras in the courtroom. Like I said, cameras should be in a courtroom because he turned himself in. According to the FBI, he turned himself in. There's letters that he wrote to his lover. You know what I mean? And among other things, he confessed. So I don't see why not. I don't see why they shouldn't allow cameras in the courtroom. They should. They should. So I will keep you updated. Right now, you're just talking about it, but I will keep you updated and posted what the judge ruled if he's going to allow cameras in the courtroom. Now, let's talk about Erika Kirk and her response. Boy, Erika Kirk. And I have to say, I have nothing against the woman. She is very brave, very courageous, a very strong Christian woman. But there's some things I have to critique, and it's not me, it's not me shaming her or bashing her, none of that, because I have absolutely the most respect for this woman, okay? And it's very courageous what she's doing, very strong, but she does, as a CEO, to be honest with you guys, have to answer some questions. I know she's a grieving widow. I get all that. I absolutely get that. But with that being said, a grieving widow and a CEO are two separate entities, okay? She has an organization that she has to run. She has an organization that there's questions that she has to answer to. You know what I mean? When Charlie Kirk was alive, he went to all the different campuses and said, prove me wrong. He always answered questions. He always debated about certain things that he did not agree with or other people did not agree with. And there's some questions that the public are asking, and we deserve some answers. And as a CEO, she has that obligation to answer these questions and not just like sweep it underneath the rug. You know what I mean? And like I said, I have the most absolute respect for her. However, she has to answer some questions. So I'm going to let you take a listen to what she said yesterday, her response. And I'm going to, respond back what she said. And I have to say, when people when people listened to what the comments that she made, Erica, and people say, oh, Erica, she addressed it Fox News with Harris Faulkner. Oh, I said her last name, Faulkner. Hopefully, I said it correctly, without mentioning Candace Owens, and that's so powerful. It's so powerful. She mentioned. Um, um, she addressed it, her concerns. She addressed the conspiracy theories without mentioning Candace Owens' name. Now we all know that what Erika Kirk addressed it was towards, obviously it was towards Candace Owens. But my thing is, I'm the type of person, I'm direct. I'm not indirect. If you're going to talk to someone or make a bold statement about someone, say their names. I don't understand why people don't say their names. You know what I mean? Say their name. I feel like that was not powerful to me. I feel like Erika Kirk was indirect opposed to direct. If you're going to make a statement about Candace Owens and what she's been saying in her podcast and her episode, just say her name. Listen, I don't like the fact that Candace Owens say X, Y, and Z. Okay, instead of like being around the bush. I don't like people like that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I didn't like about Erika Kirk. For me, in my opinion, and what I observed, I feel like she was being around the bush. I feel like she was not mentioning Candace Owens' name, even though we all know that she was directly talking about Candace Owens, even though she was not direct, but she was indirect, if that makes sense. I'm the type of person, I'm direct. I'm going to let you know I'm talking about you. This is how I feel towards you. But let's take a listen to what Erika Kirk had to say to Harris of Faulkner.
During her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss of her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erika, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying?
Pause. Absolutely. I agree with her on that aspect. Yes. The funeral, the burial, that should be private. That should be a family affair. You know what I mean? I absolutely agree with Erika, because you have some lunatics. If they find out where Charlie Kirk is buried, they probably pee on his grave, destroy his burial and all that crap. Because you have some crazy people that would do that, and I understand that aspect, and that should be private. That should be sacred between her children, and her family member. However, with that being said, okay, Charlie Kirk Memorial, that was public for the world. We all appreciate that she and other people from Turning Point USA did this special memorial in Arizona to represent Charlie Kirk and his life and everything. However, you can't have it both ways. You can't be private and then show certain things on your social media page. For example, when Erika showed Charlie Kirk in a casket, you know what I mean? How someone video camera, and she just saying how much she loves him, God bless you, and to me that's just such an intimate moment. You know what I mean? Which I'm going to share with you right now. I just want to put this on pause and then show you this. I just feel like, you posted that on your Instagram page, right? For the public, for the whole world to see. If that was me, I just want that to be private. But again, to each his own. And again, I just want to be very clear. I am not judging Erika. She made a decision to do that, to post that on her Instagram page to show people, the world, that, you know, her husband was laying in the casket and everything. But then you want the burial to be private. I get that, but again, you can't. What's the word I'm trying to say? You have to pick and choose if you want private or you want things to be public. That's how I'm seeing it. Private or public. For example, and then I show you the clip. Candy Burrs and her soon-to-be ex-husband Todd. Okay, everything was public. You know what I mean, with her when she was getting married, how they got together, them starting their businesses together, everything. Their journey of IVF and surrogacy, all of that was public. Then when shit hit the fan, okay, excuse my language, when things hit the fan that they're going through a divorce, now you want it to be private. Like you can't pick and choose. You know what I mean? Private or not private. If you're going to be private, then be consistent and be private. Now things are getting nasty in their marriage. You don't want the public to know about the divorce and this and that, and you guys going back and forth. You want us to respect your privacy for the sake of your children. Well, then you shouldn't make things public for the world to see. You know what I mean? It's like you have to have one or the other. You can't have both. And some people say you can't have both. Okay, if you don't want to expose certain things, then don't expose certain things that you want to keep private. Expose just yourself. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And I just don't understand how some celebrities or public figures, they want their cake and eat it too. And they want to be exposed, but they don't want to be exposed. They want to be private. It's confusing. You know what I mean? It's confusing. It's like in a relationship. A man said, well, I want to be with you, but I don't want to be with you. I'm confused, or vice versa, a woman. It's confusing. It's like, which is it? You know what I mean? And that's how I see it. Again, I am not bashing Erika. I'm just saying in my own perspective, privacy or not, or not privacy. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. Now I'm going to let you take a look at her Instagram page, video, that someone took when she was saying her kind of like her final goodbyes to Charlie Kirk.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I know. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. God bless you.
Okay. See, so to me, that's touching. But again, I would have done that privately. I wouldn't want the whole world to see my husband in a casket and me being so emotional and so intimate like that with my husband. That's just me. But again, she posted it on her Instagram page. She posted it for the world to see. Like I said, I understand her standpoint that she wants one thing for herself, for her and her children, her babies, and something sacred. I get it. But then, and I feel like no one should know where he was buried anyway. I feel like that's a family affair. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone should know where Charlie Kirk was buried. You know what I mean? For what? Again, like I said, it should be a family thing. It should be for the family to know where he's buried. They're going to do another thing, like she said, for Charlie Kirk. I don't think anyone should know. I think that should be a private thing. But she made her certain things public. But again, let's go back to what she had to say.
One thing, this is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am
Pause. Okay. This is where I have a disagreement with, okay? She's saying that she has no time to address the noise, but these noise are very violent. I mean, not violent, very not vindicated. A valid point to answer. Okay, I even have questions like the stuff that Turning Point employees or whoever say they're acting suspicious. Okay, they don't act right. Okay, for example, Charlie Kirk even said it before he died that they are trying to kill me. Turning Point USA have not addressed that. They deny that. The security team, they said that there was they requested drones and there was drones and then they didn't check the rooftop to make sure anyone was there. All that energy that Erika Kirk is spending, why she's not spending on the security team? Because that was their job. Charlie Kirk paid them good money. Okay, that was their job to protect him and to secure the perimeters around that area in Utah. But they failed. She should be angry at them. You know what I mean? She should be pressing them. Like, what the hell happened? Your job was to protect my husband, and my husband's dead. You said that there was drones, but there was no drones. Like, you said that they're supposed to check the rooftop. You didn't check the rooftop. Like, what happened here? You know what I mean? I would be upset. I would be asking questions. But I just feel like Erika Kirk's energy and all this, and again, she was emotional too. Okay, she was emotional. She was fired up, rightfully so. But I feel like she was fired up at the wrong person. You know what I mean? She should be fired up of the people who've been lying. You know what I mean? Not everyone from Turning Point organization is lying, but some of the stuff that they're saying and doing, it looks suspicious, and they're lying about certain things, and that should be questionable. There should be answers for that, for their lying and their behavior. If you have nothing to hide, then you should not lie. You should not lie. You should be telling the truth and be very transparent. But when you lie and double down and say this didn't happen, but this didn't happen, you're lying. It doesn't make any sense. But let her continue on.
Complacent? Mm-hmm. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it.
Pause. Let's be clear here. You can have a bunch of employees in an organization or in a corporate world that will respect you and love you and whatever. But like I said in my past videos, you're going to have some bad apples. You're going to have people that are going to do some shady things behind your back without your knowledge. That happens everywhere you go. Now, I'm not saying, and I know Erika's not saying that all of them are bad, but she has to keep in mind there are some bad apples out in her organization. There are some bad people who didn't have a good intention of Charlie Kirk. Why do you think he wanted to set up Doge? Because there was something wrong with the finances. Money were coming in and money was coming out fast. There was no accountable for it. You know what I mean? So if he requested to have Doge in his organization, that had to mean something. That had to tell you something. Something didn't seem right in his organization that he is questioning about. And for Erika just having a blind eye saying that there's good people in a Turning Point and they're her family. Yes, they can be your family. Absolutely, they can be your family. Absolutely, you can support them. But some family members, they can stab you in the back. Some family members can do things that you're not aware of. Some family members can even kill you. Hello, this is the world that we live in. And for us to be naive and dumb, thinking that, oh, I don't think one of my family members will hurt me. Oh, I don't think one of the people from Turning Point USA will betray me or Charlie Kirk or steal money from me. Like, you're living in a fantasy world if you believe that. And I feel like, and I don't want to say Erika Kirk is naive because she seemed like a very smart, intelligent woman, but we have to open our eyes here. You know, she has to open her eyes and see, listen, this is the world that we live in. And some people are ruled by money, success, power, and to be on top. You know what I mean? And for her to not to see that some people in the organization might be shady. And what I don't understand either, when Charlie Kirk was alive, Charlie Kirk probably told her everything. She knows everything. So for her to not to believe, not a little bit of an inkling that someone is dirty in the organization, that someone may have done something to hurt Charlie Kirk or to get rid of him because maybe Charlie Kirk got a little bit close of something that he shouldn't have found. That's possible, right? It's possible. And for her to just shut it down and just say Turning Point is my family and they shouldn't come after them, to me, that's wrong. Okay, you are the CEO. You should be not investigating and asking questions, things that doesn't seem right in your organization, because you have donors donating money in your organization. And as a CEO, and I'm not talking about a widow, okay, as a CEO, that is your job to step up and to ask questions and figure out and get to the bottom what is going on in your organization. You have to separate the two. You know what I mean? You are a CEO of a foundation that your husband built from the ground up, okay? From the ground up, okay? They didn't go to college, he built that. And now it's headed to you, okay? And that's something that you have to answer these questions. You can't say you don't have time for it or you don't want to hear the noise. You're traveling and you're promoting your husband's book. As a CEO, and I'm making it very clear, it is your obligation to answer these questions that people are asking, because that is your baby now. That is your organization, your foundation now. Is no longer Charlie Kirk. May his soul rest in peace. And for you to say, oh, you're not bothered because you're building other things, it's just not a very sincere thing to say, in my opinion. Again, I am not coming after Erika, so please don't come after me. I'm not doing that. I'm just critiquing the things that she's saying that I feel like it's just inappropriate to me. But let her continue.
We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds.
Pause. They're lying. That's the thing I don't understand. The Turning Point, some of the employees, they're lying. What they're saying and doing is sketchy. It's suspect. They're lying. And I just don't understand how Erika don't see that. Unless, someone's talking in her ears, unless she's very naive and she's very trustworthy, thinking that these people could never do anything to betray Charlie Kirk or her. I don't understand that. Or it's a possibility that maybe some of the donors or whoever is threatening her and say, listen, you just have to say certain things. And this is me speculating here. I'm just speculating here. Probably tell her you need to say X, Y, and Z. I don't know. She doesn't seem like the type. A type to like be in control, but you never know. If someone's threatening you and your family, and this is me speculating, I have no proof of this. This is me speculating in my head. Okay, maybe someone say, "Listen, you need to say this," or something's going to happen to you. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem right to me that how she can just be so trustworthy. Some of the people in Turning Point USA, the sketchiness about the finances, about them not doing their taxes and stuff like that. It's just crazy to me. And also, she's blaming Candace Owens for her promoting her show, not promoting, but promoting the assassination of Charlie Kirk on her show. She's been podcasting for a very long time. She's an investigator. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say, well, Candace Owens is not. She's making thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, promoting Charlie Kirk. What about Turning Point USA? What about the memorial? They sold his T-shirt, the T-shirt that he got assassinated in. Okay, they sold his T-shirts among other stuff. They made millions. I haven't seen they sold anything for free. So I don't understand the double standard. It's just not right. And the thing is, this woman's not even making any money. She's not even making profit of Charlie Kirk, meaning she hasn't sold any mugs, she hasn't sold any T-shirts, anything of that sort. Okay, the only thing she's doing is just investigating the death of Charlie Kirk. Okay, that's what she does for a living. She investigates things. She investigates people. So for I feel like that's just not fair for Erika and among other people to say, oh, she's profiting off of Charlie Kirk's death and stuff like that, when Turning Point USA is doing exactly the same thing. Because if that was the case, if they were not profiting, then they would have sold his T-shirt for free. They wouldn't get any donors. They wouldn't get anything from other people. You know what I mean? For their organization. So that's not a fair assessment to say, to be honest with you. And that's just my opinion. I don't think that's fair. I don't write because they sold T-shirts. They got donors. What else? You know what I mean? They did this whole thing for a Charlie Kirk memorial with fireworks and all that. That cost thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Maybe the White House probably paid for it. Who knows? They probably did. But my thing is, it's not fair to say that Candace Owens is profiting off of Charlie Kirk's death when all she wants to do is find out who really killed him. When Turning Point is doing the complete opposite. It seems like they're not trying to find out who killed Charlie Kirk, why they killed him, the motive of why they murdered him. They just believe the Fed's narrative and everything. And then we're just going to trust our justice system. We're just going to trust the process. We're going to trust the Feds. We're going to trust everything and just forget about everything, because he turned himself in. He wrote his lover a letter and everything. So then we got the guy. We got the guy. Continue.
And thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this. No.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma?
That's the thing. Relive the trauma. Don't you want to get to the bottom of the truth? Like, I just don't understand when she said relive the trauma. What happened to JF Kennedy and Jackie O? You didn't see her. You didn't hear her say, oh, you know, I don't think we need to find out what happened to my husband in assassination because it's going to relive the trauma. You know what I mean? We need to get to the bottom of this. Like, reliving the trauma, what's that mean? Honestly. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Honest to God, I am not trying to be disrespectful. Basically saying, what she's saying is just shut up. Let's listen to the Feds. Let's wait to see what's going to happen, and let's not investigate. Let's not ask questions. We have questions, and for us to for Erika to say, you know, we don't want to relive the trauma. I'm sorry. It's just a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. It's just a bunch of BS to me. Okay, because we want to know what happened. This was the most public assassination that the whole world had witnessed and seen. And for people to say, just let it go. Forget your eyes. Forget what you just saw, what you just witnessed. It's just mind-boggling to me. Okay, it's just absurd. You know what I mean? And we need to get to the bottom of the truth. We need to find out why. Don't you want to know why? I know Erika Kirk wants to know why among other people. And for her to say to relive the trauma, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't make sense of that, what she said.
All over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
Because they're lying. They're lying. lying. What they're saying doesn't make any sense. They're lying. That's why. If they didn't lie and told the truth from the beginning, then yeah, we will cut them some slack. But they've been lying from the beginning, Erika. I just don't understand why you don't see that. Their behavior looks suspicious. I don't understand. It's like when a husband or a wife kill their spouse and then they just go off and go shopping, not shopping, but on a vacation and meet someone and get married. That does not look suspicious. I don't understand this. If someone kills someone and then they just act like they act like nothing happened, and then just act freely, and there's like no care in the world, does not look like suspicious to you? That would look suspicious. So what we're saying is what Turning Point USA is doing is suspicious. Mikey McCoy, when Charlie Kirk got shot, he left. On his phone, he walked out. What normal, rational people would do that? What normal, rational person would do that? That's not normal. And then when Rob McCoy, the pastor, went to his congregation and preached to his people in church, saying that Mikey was a hero. There was blood all over it. He lied. You don't think that's inappropriate? He lied in his church. That's, you know what I mean? Why lie about that? Little small lies to me that makes me to believe that you can lie about something big. Why lie about that? You get what I'm saying? Why lie and say your son was a hero when he was no hero? He was a coward, because as soon as Charlie Kirk got shot, went down, he left on his phone talking to probably Erika Kirk, letting her know what happened to her husband, or afterwards then his father. Okay, that's not a hero to me. Okay, I'm sorry if I see that one of my closest friends got shot, I'm gonna go over there to see what I can do, how I can assist, how I can stop the bleeding, whatever. I'm not going to walk away and be on my phone. That's just common sense. And what Mikey McCoy was doing did not look normal. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And any normal, rational person will say that or think that. That's not normal what he did. Okay, that's not normal what Rob McCoy said as well in his congregation, that his son was a hero, blood all over him. BS. That was a lie. You get what I'm saying? He's supporting a pedophile. It's disgusting. You get what I'm saying? That's not okay. You know what I mean? Andrew, the PR guy, I can't pronounce his last name. You know what I mean? He looks suspicious to me. He looks like he don't tell the truth. He tells half the truth, but not all the truth, if that makes sense. Okay? Andrew Corbett, excuse me. Okay? And that's the thing. If you have nothing to hide and you have nothing to feel or to look guilty of, tell the truth. But they're not capable of telling the truth. The security team of Charlie Kirk, they lied about the security, the drones. There was no drones. They checked the roof. They didn't check the roof. The roof, the door was locked. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense to me. Okay? So that's why we're saying they're lying. And we all know that they're lying. It's just the behavior that they're doing and how they're reacting to certain things that we all can see that they're lying or covering up something. Point blank, period.
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what, the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. Wow. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you, whatever.
Okay, pause. Now, I agree with her. I don't understand why people pick on her accessories, what she's wearing. To me, in my opinion, it's irrelevant. We should not even care what she wears or what she has on. She's a beautiful, attractive woman, a mother of two. Who gives a two flying, you know what she has on, what accessories she has on? Who cares? What I care about as a woman of the CEO of Turning Point USA, okay? Like I said, she has every right to feel a certain type of way because she's a grieving widow. That's one thing. But as a CEO, a boss, okay, you have to answer these questions. You have to separate the two. You know what I mean? You're the CEO now. Okay. You're appointed to answer questions when things are not making sense. And for you, Erika, to say, oh, you don't have time when you've been having time traveling, being on what you call it, on Fox News, on other you're going to be on CBS this Saturday, talking about your Charlie Kirk's book, promoting that. You've been everywhere. So my thing is, if you have time to promote your husband's book and everything, I think you have time to answer questions. To be fair, that's fair an assessment to say. You have time to answer these questions because you are the CEO, and people are looking to you to answer these questions. And for you to be so upset, rightfully so, and to and get all emotional, it doesn't look good. Okay, you are the CEO, you're the face of Turning Point USA, and it's your obligation and your duty to answer questions that doesn't make any sense. And for you to just reflect on, because you don't have time and you building things, that's not a right answer to say, in my opinion. Okay. And like I said, I'm not, being like mean to Erika. I'm just speaking to my perspective. It doesn't look well. You know what I mean? Like, you got to separate the two: a grieving widow or grieving widow and a CEO. You got to separate the two. You know what I mean? And a lot of people just don't want to like say certain things because she's a grieving widow, and I get that. But when it comes to an organization, when it comes to business, it needs to be run. You know what I mean? It needs to be run, and there's things that you have to operate. There's still things that she's still learning, obviously, and still adjusting things. But when it comes to certain questions, you have to answer it, because you are the CEO. You were appointed to it. You could have easily just turned it down and wait for a little bit until you got your affairs and other things in order before you took that huge responsibility as a CEO. But you took it. So when you took that responsibility as a CEO of Turning Point USA, there's questions that you have to answer. Point blank, period. But I want to show you a video of Candace Owens of her response, what she had to say when Erika said what she needed to say. So take a listen to what Candace Owens said and the response of Erika Kirk.
We're building. I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, whatever they want to call you. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole. Whatever.
Sorry, guys. Hold on. There we go. Let's just rewind this and play. What's happening here? I'm sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties, and I don't know why this is not playing. Excuse me. I am so sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, you gotta love technology. Just give me 1 second, you guys. I do apologize. It's playing, but I'm not hearing audio. Where is the audio? Where is the audio, you guys? Okay, let's just turn this back. I am so sorry, you guys. Let's just do this again. And let's try this one more time. Okay, let's just fast forward this because I know we listened to this already. Wait, let's go back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. What is happening here? I'm so sorry, you guys, why this is not working, and very frustrating. Very frustrating on my part. I do apologize. Let me show you another clipping while I try to figure this out. So Candace Owens was talking to Russell Brand, and I believe this was in her home, that she pointed out that it was too early for It was too early for Erika Kirk to be appointed to CEO, because when she was appointed to that, she has a lot of responsibilities on her hand, a lot of questions that she needed to answer. And according to Candace Owens, in her perspective, she felt like that Erika Kirk should not took that position right away. Someone else should have took that position until Erika Kirk had her affairs in order first. But take a listen to what Candace Owens had to say to Russell Brand while I worked on this thing. So give me 1 second. Let's just move this, add this here.
Podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight, because now when people have questions, you got to answer them, right? You're not just a grieving widow, which there has to be respectability for and space and allowing her to be a mother, but you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be Charlie. Well, guess what? That's going to be a trial by fire, okay? Charlie had to go through it. It's painful. The public's going to go through every layer of your life. They're going to do and so people go, it's not fair. You can't do what we call the post-school shooting thing, which is like a school shooting is such a tragic event. And then suddenly they're like, you have to listen to David Hogg and you can't question David Hogg. It's like, but I got effing questions for David Hogg, right? If you're now going to say that I have to accept him as a political leader, I'm sorry if a tragedy happened to you, it's fair for me to say, David Hogg, I have why are you on CNN? And I think that's happening. And so people are feeling like, hey, it's not fair to ask her any questions because her husband just died. Okay, but they should have put in place an interim CEO. Like that's what any company would do. You would just say for a couple of months, we got to figure things out. The COO is going to become the CEO and give everybody time to grieve and kind of address the fact that this is like a new company and like we've got to figure things out without the head of the company, So I think they made a managerial error. All is fair in love and war is what I mean. It's like that if you're going to be in that position, everyone goes through it. You're going through it. I'm going through it every day. That's what it means to be. It's the downsides of fame. Like they're going to go through every area of your life. So I think it's not fair, but it's fair. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone does it. It's just a part of being in the public eye.
I agree. I agree with what she had to say, Candace Owens. And I have to say, I know I'm off topic, but Professor Brand, the jacket and with the zipper down with no shirt. Like he had a jacket, but there was no shirt underneath, which is very interesting. That's all I have to say. Very, very interesting. But I agree. Like once you appoint yourself to CEO, there's a lot of things you're going to have to handle, a lot of heat, a lot of pressure that is going to be on your shoulders. And that's something that, Charlie Kirk had to deal with each and every day, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to be happening with Erika Kirk. There's some things that she's going to deal with and some things that she's going to learn and things that she has to answer questions and do certain things. You know what I mean? That's what CEO is all about, and especially running an organization and running a company, running a business. You know what I mean? You're going to deal with a lot of things that you typically wouldn't want to deal with, but that's what she wanted to do. They appointed her to that role, and as that role, you got to step up to the plate, which I'm not saying she hasn't, but there's things that you have to answer for. You know what I mean? There's questions that people are asking. You have to answer. You cannot dodge a bullet, and you can't say, that's my family. That's my family. You can't come after my family. No, when your family is doing things suspiciously and it's not behaving well and lying, yes, I feel like the public should question that. You know what I mean? Just like any other normal people who are suspected of murder, and then that person just acting weird and just acting like nothing didn't happen, like their spouse didn't just get murdered, and then they just pretend that everything is okay. That's suspicious. You have to ask questions about that. Anyhow, so let me go back and show you Candace's response of Erika, what she had to say. So hopefully this works and we can listen to the comment that Candace Owens had.
Come down while we're building. I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. The idea that she does not have time. She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times, she made time to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador
to India. She has also made time for an upcoming CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So Erika Kirk has time. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like, they made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. And we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. Like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique. Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my. Don't you get me upset. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies. Because
pause. I get where Candace Owens is going with this. Why she's saying that. Most people don't understand that most women should not be CEO of companies and stuff like that, because we get emotional. Some women do, some people don't. You know what I mean? It all depends on the person. I have to say yes. Don't hate me, you guys. I have to say it because I just feel like some women, they wear their emotions on their sleeve and they can't separate the two. You know what I mean? Some women can. Some women can be a boss, you know what, and separate, and this is business. We have to execute X, Y, and Z, and then when you get home, you get emotional, you do whatever. You know what I mean? Some women can do that. You know what I mean? And I have seen that. I have seen both. You know what I mean? And some just get so emotional, they get their emotion get the best of them, and then they lose. In my opinion, they lose logic. What's really happening? What's really going on? Because they let their emotion get the best of them instead of executing and taking care of business. You know what I mean? And it's true. And to be honest, it all depends. It all depends on the person. To be honest with you, I feel like most women can do both. But again, it all depends on the person. Me, I can do both. I can be a boss lady and take care of business, do what I need to do, and then be emotional when I need to be emotional. You know what I mean? I just don't be emotional and wear my heart on my sleeve when I'm taking care of business. That's just me. I can't be emotional and start crying, get upset, and while I'm having a company that I have to run. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? People want to make you feel like you're soft. And you can't be soft when you dealing with a multi-million or billion-dollar organization or company or whatever. You have to have your head strong and take care of business. And there's a time to take care of business, and there's a time to be emotional and all that stuff. So that's just my perspective. So please don't hate me. Please be kind. But let's Candace Owens continue.
Because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions. So people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids. So you can't critique them.
I agree. I 100% agree with her. You can't critique them. You know what I mean? If they do something and say something shady and inappropriate, you have to question them. You have to question everyone and rule them out. That's what you do. That's a fair assessment, right? You can't just, take their word for it and believe that the people that is working for you and working for your organization are truthful. You just can't. I just, it's hard for me to believe that she believes that, Erika, that some of these people are trustworthy, that they wouldn't do anything to betray Charlie Kirk or betray her or betray the organization. That's hard for me to believe unless she's really that naive or she's hiding underneath the rock or she just don't want to believe it. I don't know. But for me, if that was my husband, I'd be questioning everyone. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that I don't have loyalty towards my employee. But if I seen or heard or suspect anything suspicious in an organization, I'm going to question everyone and rule them out. That's the right thing to do. But if you do that, then that's when you don't trust me. Oh, how could you do that? Charlie's the one that hired me. Again, this type of stuff is manipulation. Okay. Okay, manipulation. No, it's not me. It doesn't mean that I don't trust you or I don't trust Charlie Kirk's judgment when he was alive. It's just that some of the stuff is just not adding up. And I have to rule everything out. I have to rule out any suspects. That's what you do in an investigation or anything. You rule people out. And if they're clean, if they're honest, and they have nothing to hide, they should answer these questions, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know. I think I'm living in a limbo world or some cuckoo world that, we should just listen to what people are saying, listen to the feds, listen to everything because what they're saying is telling the truth. And at Turning Point USA, some of the employees, they're right. They're right. They're honest. Boy, bye. I just can't take this nonsense. Before I let you go, okay, you guys, I want to read to you his name. Gosh, I forgot his name. Jimmy Dore. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's a podcaster, and I've been listening to him and following him on TikTok and on YouTube too. And I really like what he has to say. And it seems like he is full support of Candace Owens. And on top of that, he doesn't even believe the horse shit of the FBI narrative. He don't believe the horse shit. He just believes it's full of lies and it's BS, and the inconsistency of Turning Point USA employees, the inconsistency of the Fed's narrative, among other stuff. So I'm just going to read to you what he posted on his X account. And I have to say, I agree what he posted, the statement that he made, because it's absolutely true. So I'm just going to read to you what he posted. It's amazing to me how no one will address any of the actual things that Candace Owens has said. That is true. No one has it. The Turning Point USA people have already been caught lying multiple times. Remember, you only lie if you're trying to cover something up. Those people are crying victim just like their donors do while committing a genocide. The fact that Erika Kirk, along with everyone at Turning Point USA, has zero questions about the obvious FBI bullshit narrative about the assassination is beyond puzzling and beyond belief. I agree. It's true. Like, my thing is, some people are addressing Candace Owens accusations, but they're calling her crazy. She's bipolar. They're diagnosing her. I'm like, you're not a freaking doctor, okay? And for people to do that, then you know that she's onto something, okay? That she's crazy, she's not making sense. People are bashing her kids. That's where I draw the line. Listen, if you don't like Candace Owens and you don't respect what she has to say, and let me just go back. You don't like what she has to say and you don't like her narrative, don't bash her kids. Like this one woman, I don't know her name, but I watched her on her podcast on YouTube. She was like saying she feels sorry for Candace Owens' children, blah, blah, blah. That's where I draw the line. Don't mention the kids. Okay, if you want to talk ill will about Candace Owens, that's fine. But leave the children out of it, okay? You don't know how she is with her kids. You don't know if to me, again, I'm not in her household. I don't live with her, but it seems like she's a very good mother and she protects her children. And for you to mention, oh, you feel sorry for the kids, like, you're disgusting. Why would you mention her own child out of your mouth? And again, I will tell you the woman's name. I just forgot her name because I was just so upset and enraged by this particular woman mentioning Candace Owens' children. Like, children are off limits, okay? If you want to talk about her and her husband, that's on you. But I feel like, for me, in my opinion, children are off limits, okay? For the audacity for her to mention Candace Owens' children is just disgusting, okay? Disgusting. But anyway, back to this. What happened? Sorry, you guys. Okay, back to this, okay? So why anyone's not addressing it? They're only addressing that she's crazy. She's not making any sense. Everything that she's doing is laughable. She's not presenting receipts. All she's doing is just talking points, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, the Turning Point people are been caught in multiple lies. Like I said, like Candace Owens said, like among people are saying. Why they're not addressing it? But instead they're crying wolf, saying that you should believe us. Okay? Why Erika Kirk is not asking questions about the stuff that Candace Owens and among people are asking. You would think you would ask questions about the assassination of your husband. Again, maybe she's believing the FBI narrative, but it's BS. Okay? I would think that, again, maybe someone's talking in her ear. Maybe they're telling her, you know what, don't listen to Candace Owens, don't listen to her, this because it's all lies and it's crap, it's not true. Trust us, trust the narrative, trust the FBI because we got this in order. I hope that Erika trusts the Lord and trusts Charlie, okay, his spirit, and have his spirit move her for her eyes to open to see that what the FBI narrative is telling us is just not true. Then Jimmy continues on and saying, tell me again how an odd 30 odd 6 bullet didn't blow his head off or leave a drive-through window in the back of his neck. Seriously, go ahead and tell me again. Tell me how a shooter alone to get on the roof in the first place. That's true. How did he get in? How did he get in the roof? Because apparently there was drones, there was no drones. Tell me again how nobody saw a gunman on the roof assemble a gun, set up, take the shot, then disables the gun. People in the crowd saw nobody, and this $1 million security team saw. And his security team lied about the drone coverage, which they did, because they said there was drones, then there wasn't drones. Which is it? But Erika and the people at Turning Point USA have zero questions about any of this. And I have to agree. Like, why she's not pressing them? Again, are they telling her lies and is she just believing their the Feb slop, their lies? This should all be fired. She should fire all the security because it's not making any sense. Okay? Because they should have had drones, one, which they did. They should have checked the rooftop, which they didn't. Okay? They said they did. They should have done all that stuff because that's what Charlie Kirk paid them for. That money, that I just don't understand. I would be enraged. Okay, I will fire each and one of the security guards. Like, how dare you let my husband be unsecured and not protecting him, not checking the rooftop, not checking anything surrounding him that he may got shot, which he did. If I was Erika, I'd be pissed. I'd be livid. I'd be blaming everyone and firing them because that's their job, was supposed to protect Charlie Kirk. That's what Charlie Kirk paid them for. Then Jimmy said they have no questions about the obvious bullshit text messages Tyler Robinson was supposed to have sent to his trans lover. Not one question. Not one question about why they prayed over a crime scene 2 days after assassination, which I spoke about in my previous my video a while back. That's weird. Isn't that a crime scene? 2 days after assassination, they paved the crime scene. Again, it's a crime scene. It shouldn't be touched. They should be, collecting ballistic, collecting forensic, whatever. They should be doing all that. But no, they paved it. To me, suspicious. Okay. Then he continued on saying that no one questioned about the suspicious Google search coming from the Israel and Washington, D.C. No one questioned about why the people at Turning Point USA lied about taking the SD cards and being directed to that. Being directed to that. I can't read. Sorry. Be directed to do that. The cops, when they were not, and they are caught lying about the made up new life, and they were worried someone would steal them, meaning that they were so concerned of taking the SIM card because they were so concerned about the cameras. No one was not stealing the cameras, my friend. People were stealing more of the t-shirts than the camera. But no, they took the SIM card. That looks suspicious. Why that camera guy would take the SIM card? He's saying, because he was worried about the camera. BS, full of BS. You know it. I know it. The whole world knows it because it doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you just take the whole camera if you're worrying about them stealing the camera? But no, you just took the SIM cards only, and you left the camera behind. And on top of that, that was a crime scene. That was a no-no, that you shouldn't be even near the crime scene or touching anything that would tamper anything around that area. But the camera guy did, because he wanted to protect the camera. But instead, he took the SD SIM cards. Last statement that Jimmy posted on his ex Twitter account. There is an obvious cover-up happening, just like the cover-up on the Epstein files, true. Just like the cover-up on the Seth Rich murder, which I have not followed, which I'm not aware of. I'm not knowledgeable about that. And they are trying to silence everybody asking logical questions that everyone should be asking. Amen. And that's the tip of this coordinated cover-up. I agree. 100% agree with Jimmy Dore. I 100% agree with everything that he had to say. You're asking too much questions. You shouldn't be asking questions. It's a cover-up. Obviously, we all know it's a cover-up. But why? Why not find out what really happened to Charlie Kirk? Why not? Why spin this bullshit narrative that Tyler Robinson was the only shooter? The only lone shooter, which that's not true. But the FBI and the news media wants us to believe that, but we're not falling for it. We're not falling for it at all, okay? At the end of the day, if you don't like the investigation, if you don't like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, don't watch it. You know what I mean? Let Candace Owens and my other people investigate. And all people saying that they're dragging it out. It's been 3 months since the murder of Charlie Kirk. People have lost focus or where Candace Owens at and stuff like that. I've been following from the start to the finish. And I'm telling you, we will get to the bottom of, excuse me, my phone. We will get to the bottom of what happened that day on 9/10. An investigation, it takes time. You know what I mean? It's not like overnight. You know what I mean? Any murder cases that you see on Dateline or, because I do watch Dateline, by the way, on anything that occurred, it takes time. Okay, a murder investigation is not like overnight. It takes time. You have to gather all your information. You got to rule suspects out. You got to continue to investigate until we find out what really happened. And that's what Candace Owens is trying to do among other people too. It takes time. Okay, what do you expect the real actual murder, the shooter's gonna say? I did it. I killed him. I killed Charlie Kirk. Here I go. Here I am. You got the wrong guy. You don't have Tyler Robinson. He's innocent here. Was he implemented on the assassination? Was he involved? Probably, but I'm the one that did it. That's not going to happen. We're not going to see that. You know what I mean? So investigation takes time to find out what really happened on 9/10, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I don't understand. Listen, we have questions. It needs to be answered. Stop brushing it underneath the rug. Stop being defensive. Stop, gaslighting us, gaslighting the public, because we're not falling for it at all. Okay, it looks very suspicious and guilty when you tell people that they're crazy, they're bipolar, they don't know what they're talking about. Everything that's happening is laughable. Listen, I'm not believing that BS at all. Anyway, you guys, I don't want to hold you up. That's all I have to say about that. Let me know what you think about this video and everything that I have discovered and talked about. Please drop it in the comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I really appreciate all of you just taking the time to listen to what I have to say. And I love you all. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. And we all need to get to the bottom of what happened on 9/10, right? We all need to get to the bottom of it. And we all should come together at the end of the day. We all should come together. Again, whether you agree with Candace Owens and her conspiracy theories, and you don't want to go through the rabbit hole and stuff like that, I understand that. But at the end of the day, we all want to know the truth, what really happened to him. Because quite frankly, and I'm being honest with you, we should not believe the FBI narrative. Okay, they lied about a lot of stuff. The Epstein files, Charlie Kirk, the attempt assassination on President Trump, among other things. So what, COVID, okay, they lied about that too. So what makes you think they can be honest and transparent to the public? They can't, because if they were very honest and transparent, shit would hit the fan. Let's be serious here. Shit would hit the fan if they actually told us the truth, and the real truth what happened to Charlie Kirk on 9/10. Just imagine if they really told the truth from the beginning. I think that we would, if they would have been honest with us from the get-go, from everything, and not lie everything, then we could, I feel like the American people would have been understanding. Okay, we'd be upset, we'd be shocked, but we'd be a little bit understanding if the FBI would have told us the truth from the get-go and not hide or lie to anything. However, they didn't do that. They continued to lie, to gaslight us, saying that they got the guy, and this is the only guy, and then they're going to wait until the trial starts before they gather, before they can present more information. Well, that don't make any sense to me, because you said that he already confessed. He already confessed. He wrote a letter to his trans lover. He turned himself in. You said, oh, that's so. That doesn't make any sense. So if you already turned himself in, and you got the weapon, you got the footage of him on the roof, dismantled the rifle and putting it together, dismantled it, and then left, and then he confessed, then why you can't talk about the investigation? If it's a slam dunk, why not even talk about it? Again, it doesn't make any sense. You just want to wait until the trial starts. Again, they're lying. They don't have anything. To me, they don't. They're just pointing everything to Tyler Robinson, when this man didn't really kill Charlie Kirk. But they want you and everyone to believe that he did, but he actually really didn't. Because if it was a slam dunk, then the FBI would talk about it. They will tell us something, but then they don't tell us anything. And that's when we're in this conspiracy theory. This is where we're in a rabbit hole, because you're not telling us anything. You're not. You're just telling us the bare minimum. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Again, you guys, thank you so much for watching this channel. That's it. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.